And I only have 20 tabs open today, so
I had to close down a whole bunch because had you in my head going, how many tabs do you have open? That's what happens when you use Google Drive, though. Every time you open something, it just keeps opening another tab.
That reset seemed to help a little bit.
Oh, good.
Still, I don't know if it's my video card, or not my video card, but my capture card.
I don't know.
Might have to try something different.
Upgrade.
Because I've tried one of these little guys, and I have not had success with these, which is just a HDMI USB.
Oh.
Just plugs in.
You're showing me techie things. I don't know what that
is. I know. I figure if I say enough things, little things will start to kind of just land.
It's like osmosis, right?
But this no worky. It works great for like Zoom and other stuff, but rolling it into vMix, it's not working. So I gotta. One of these masterminds, I'm gonna talk to the boys.
There you go. Hey. You got what everybody else is using.
What's going on? Well, just troubleshooting. I mean, I've got enough oomph, computer processing and all that other stuff that we should be okay. So I don't know. There's always something to work on, though, isn't there?
There is. And now you've got even more to work on.
Even more. Let's maybe we should get vMix Social up and running. Let's turn that on.
See if Elvis is in the house today.
We'll see if always Elvis is in the house. Ways to repurpose, yes. On. All right. Let's do the 6 note. We got an old one from him. Alrighty, I think should be all set there.
Well, okay then.
Okay then, and I started putting stuff up over yonder.
Yay!
So, yeah.
Progress.
Looking forward to getting it all set up, and especially just getting the lighting figured out. And even these 2 lights are the same manufacturer that I have up right now, but they are totally different colors.
Really?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Calibration?
Yeah, I don't know. They're different models, same manufacturer. So I have a third one. It's kind of like what's her name? Little Red Riding Hood. I started with the little baby light, and it was too small. So then I got the next size up, and then it worked great indoors.
That was the Little Red Riding Hood, was it?
No, you're right. Who was the porridge girl?
Bears.
Yeah.
Was it Little Red Riding Hood?
No, because she was the wolf. She was the one that went through. Yeah. What was with the 3 bears? Who was the girl?
3 bears. Mama bear, Papa bear, baby bear.
Right, but who was the girl? Or is it not about that? Maybe it's not about the girl. It's about the bears. I don't know. And the porridge. I remember the porridge, the bed, porridge beds, and I forget what else she tried.
The rocking chair.
Oh, don't even remember the rocking chair.
That's what I remember. I don't know. Maybe it's a different story.
Maybe.
The things we remember,
Yes. Fade out of the music.
Ooh, fader.
Yes. Welcome, everybody. It must be Tuesday because I'm here. You're here.
I am here.
You are here. And
I am here.
if you haven't noticed, the background has changed a little bit. One of
Yes,
these days, I'll have to get a secondary camera because it's actually kind of cool. This
it
background
is.
is a mural. It's a mural that's left over from what used to be a skating rink. And the date is, I forget what month it is, but it was painted in 1977. And so
That's so
this
cool.
mural is still there.
Now, I used
So
to skate at that skating rink. Did you skate at that
I used
skating
to
rink?
skate it. I used to be able to walk to this skating rink back in junior
Oh
high
man.
and go skating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ryan is at his new office right now. In case you guys didn't remember from last week, brand new office, getting it all set up. So like we were just talking about earlier, lighting wise, getting all the tech stuff down again and resetting up
Again.
all of your tech setup. So yeah, it's just going to keep getting
Right.
better and better.
It's just going to keep on getting better, better. You know what I can do though is I can do a wide shot here. It gives you a little bit more
Ooh.
of, I'm trying to get out of the way. It doesn't really matter of the mural. What you don't see off camera is a complete, it's like somebody just moved like a 3-bedroom house into one room. So that is going to be the next fun part, is figuring out where all this fun stuff is going to go. So I don't know if any of you have moved recently, but I don't recommend it, especially going from upstairs with no elevators where I moved out of.
That was
So
fun.
that was a lot of fun, a lot of
Well, the good
fun.
news
So
is in your new space, though, there's also some space to do some video recording and like going to build a little sound stage, as it were. So some new capabilities for you, which I think is exciting. So
yeah, well, new capabilities for us. There's things
for
that,
us,
yeah,
yes,
we'll be able to
exactly.
do. New things we'll be able to test out that we haven't been able to
Yeah.
test out just because of the lack of space. And it's, if you just think about the office itself that I was in, this
It's
has
small.
got to be 5 or 6 times larger than just that office. The only thing is I had 2 other rooms, if you will, that were separate from my office that I was able to store stuff and do different things. Now it's just all one big room. So, but
I'm gonna have
anyway,
to. I mean, we're gonna have to do a different style or type of show when we get some things set up there, so we can both be in the same space, which would be
yes,
awesome,
yep,
and like you said, be testing some new stuff. So I'm excited about that too.
yeah. As am I.
Yay!
Your audio seems a little low today for some reason.
I am so sorry.
It's all right. There's
Oh,
like,
tech, tech,
oh,
tech.
tech, tech, tech. I'm like, I
What are
had
we
to,
talking about
I had
today,
to, I had
Ryan?
to check. I have no, I know exactly what we're talking about because I just created the thumbnail not too long ago. We're going to talk about repurposing live streaming content, with
Mhm.
people putting so much time, money, energy into creating a show. May it be a one-off or an ongoing thing, may it be a full-blown hybrid production. Even if you're just doing, say, a video podcast as an example, just doing it for the purpose of the one event or whatever it is there's so much more that you could do with it and gain a lot of value out of the content. So we've actually come up with 5 different ways of repurposing that content. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Exactly. So, as we're doing right now, we're doing a live stream, and then you're also recording this. And so we're able then to repurpose some of that by taking, either the entire show that we do, which is usually about 30 minutes, and we're putting that on our YouTube channel. So we're adding a little content to our YouTube channel as one of these social outlets. The other thing that you can do from the social standpoint, so just talking about one of those ways to repurpose is using video in your social media campaigns, is stripping out and pulling out some of the real interesting meat items of your show or your interview, where you can have a very small little snippet, a 30-second, 60-second, 15-second, all of those things that now you've got content that you can put onto not only YouTube with the shorts they have now instead of
Mm-hmm.
just a long show, Facebook, of course. Instagram has multiple ways to use video on Instagram, where you can be repurposing there if you have an Instagram following or you want to build your Instagram following. TikTok, one of my favorites. I mean, I honestly, Like I'm seeing like these amazing doctors and, an acupuncturist doing these 60-second videos with like tips. And I'm
Right.
like begging for more. I'm subscribing to their channels. They're just these little snippets, and they could have
Right.
come out of something much longer of, some top tips. You pick that one, do a 60-second video, pop that on TikTok. Now you're starting to get a following as an expert in your field. So
Right.
don't count out TikTok, even if your audience is a little bit older, because
Right.
I'm a little older and I love me my TikTok.
Right. And apparently it doesn't always have to just be entertaining. So actually having
Right.
something that's educational, information based, if you will, and just realizing whenever you repurpose anything, always realize your audience or the audience that's on a different platform, kind of what are they expecting? And you want to shift whatever that content is that you're repurposing and make sure it's relevant to your audience. But, TikTok is a great example. I think they started out and it was only 15 seconds long. It was really
Exactly. Yep.
designed to be very quick snippets. And from a business owner, from a marketing point of view, I think one of the things that is really great about this, and people were all the craze about Twitter when Twitter came out, because you were limited to 180 characters, I believe, back in the day,
162
164, whatever it was,
or something like that.
somewhere in there. I forget the exact number, but the idea was that you could not ramble. Right,
Right.
because now that these platforms are putting constraints, you might have a 1 hour show or a half-hour show, and our tendency is sometimes we go off topic, we tend to ramble, and then going, okay, I'm going to find little snippets out of this that are really relevant for my audience, aha moments, educational, inspirational, whatever it might be. It is a great way of kind of helping you as a business owner from a marketing point of view go, okay, how can I really consolidate my message?
Right, exactly, for the particular audience that's
Right.
on that platform. And one other one that we hadn't mentioned yet is LinkedIn. LinkedIn, another great resource for your socials if your audience is there. A lot of business people, entrepreneurs. So if you've got really great content with some educational pieces, tips, tricks, those kinds of things, perfect for LinkedIn. So don't count out LinkedIn for your smaller videos, your repurposed videos. Now we talked about this from taking it from a live stream, which is what we're doing.
Mhm.
Even if you were doing a video, just a recorded video that maybe had a little more length to it, you also can repurpose that. Whatever
Right.
you've got a video recording of, and it's a little bit lengthy, pull out those snippets and then you can use them. Social media being our number one way to
Right.
repurpose that video. So
Yeah.
you ready to move on to number two?
Very, very much. Well, and the other thing I want to say about this is that people are always looking for content. That's one of the, I think, may it be a business owner, may it be a news agency, may it be a blogger,
Yes.
vlogger, everybody is always looking for new information. So being able to take one piece of content, maybe chopping it up into 20 pieces, think about how much easier that's going to be on you or your marketing team, whoever it is. So anyway,
Exactly.
efficiency.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. So that's what we're doing. We're talking about, chopping these things up. Obviously, like I said, you can use it full length on your YouTube channel for a regular YouTube video. And then, either using the full length version or a smaller version to go on your website. Maybe
Right.
you want to put this on your video blog and include the transcript from that interview or from that teaching piece that you did.
Right.
So that's a great way to add more content, and Ryan, as you know, from an SEO standpoint, adding video and adding more of that, that transcribed, all the
Right.
keywords and all of that, really helping your SEO. So you can speak to that component of it.
Yeah, we could spend hours just on that. And one of the things I will speak to this that I don't think a lot of people think about is that you can take one topic and spin it 5 different ways for 5 different audiences. So if
This
you've
is true.
got, even though the content is the same, but the way you present it, it could be in the description of the video. Could be the little snippet that you pull out is more geared towards millennials, as an examples. But later on, you end up talking about baby boomers. You can pull out the piece that just talks about baby boomers and use that as a lead in to showcase the original video, or, anyway, we could spend hours on this and seeing how we were just talking about trying to keep your marketing focused. I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I could go down a tangent.
We just have so much content, Ryan. So much content.
So much content. Who knew?
So yeah, so using that on your website to highlight something, on your blog. And in addition to that, so that's like number 2 for using this this content on your website, is making a promotional video. So there could be a way that you can use pieces and parts of that video with other elements and kind of weaving things together to make a generic promotional video for your business. What a great thing to put on your homepage, on your website, as we talked about using video content on your webpage, not just on your blog, but maybe now you've also used a piece of that and you've created a really cool promotional video to put onto your website. You can also use that promotional video on your social media. And then we go on to the next technique, which I like too, is email.
Yes.
Going onto your email. So, for a while there, I think a lot of people were like, no more email. Nobody wants email. And it's
Email's
like, well,
huge.
Email is huge. And if you are providing content and you're showing that those fans of yours who have signed up to get your email, you're giving them something good, and they know to expect something really good at the same time each week. Hey, it's Tuesday, 4:00. We do our show. Hey, every Tuesday, you're going to get this great email letter, or once a month, whatever it is, the first Tuesday. And it's packed with information and maybe if you've got some special for your business or something like that you're offering. And they know that they're going to get value in that email. And one of those things you can include is video. People are more likely to click on a quick video and kind of get the information from that. And it's also a great way to connect personally if they're seeing you, especially if you are the sole business person or you're the main person for your business. Putting that on video, whoever that key person is that your customers are going to be interfacing with, you put a face and a name and a voice and all of that to it, and they're going to feel a lot more comfortable knowing who they're dealing with. So
this side. I just leaned back far enough. At the show off the logo. You've got it on too.
I got my logo on. Wait, where is it?
I know it's always backwards. Always backwards. Always backwards. And since we took a little quick break here, I just saw it like blip at the bottom, and I was like, ooh, look at the new logo. Hey, we're getting fancy here. Guess who's in the house?
Hey, always Elvis in the house.
Always Elvis. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for dropping in. And let's drop him out. The one thing I want to say real quickly about the email is that you're not able to play videos in an email. So what you do is you take your thumbnail, which is the image that you create for the video. And if you don't know what a thumbnail is, just Google YouTube thumbnail to see what it is. You place that image in your email. And then you make, what I like to do is I like to take that thumbnail and then I'll actually add the YouTube play button over top, or I'll do the YouTube frame around it and put the thumbnail inside with a play button on the outside. And then that's the image that I put on the email. And then I link the email to the YouTube video. So when people click on it going, oh, cool. Somebody embedded a video because it looks like a video in the email. They click on it, it'll automatically open up YouTube, and that's how you get video. So if you're trying to figure out how to get video in email, it doesn't work. You have to make it look like a video and then allow them to click it, link it to your YouTube channel. And it's a great way from an SEO point of view. YouTube is all about views these days. The more views that you have, the more watch time you have on YouTube, it's going to boost your ranking, your visibility, your credibility, if you will, much, much higher. So anyway, email.
Exactly. Yeah. There's all kinds of techniques. And I love how all of these things, they really do just kind of all like mash and mesh together, all the things we're talking about, it's ultimately it's marketing, it's, visibility, getting your message out there, getting, you to be top of mind, all of those things. And video is one of the best ways to do that. So we're talking about repurposing whatever longer video that you may have. The last way, before we get to our super tip of the day, which I'm super excited about.
We need to have, like, when we do a super tip, we need to have something flash up that goes super tip.
We need confetti. We need a confetti cannon. That's what we need.
Confetti. Okay, I'm going to write this down. I need a confetti.
We'll do it at your office, not at my house.
Well, I'm thinking like a digital,
Oh, okay.
You know, and then in the background we'll have super tip of the week. Something, I don't know.
Super tip of the week. Here we go. So that's coming up. The super tip's coming up, which I'm really excited about. But the last way that you can take your longer content or your streamed content, recorded content, is creating some type of a presentation that maybe you're going to be doing a speaking presentation in front of some people. Oh my gosh, are we going to be in front of real people? It could happen.
It could happen.
Things are starting to change.
Yep,
so there may be that opportunity where you get on stage and now you can say, hey, you know what? I've got this great video. Let me show you this from when I interviewed so-and-so. This is totally relevant to whatever it is you're talking about. And you're bringing even more content to your presentation.
Right.
If that person doesn't happen to be there on stage, you're still bringing that person to the stage, if you will, via that video. So that's just another way that you can utilize and repurpose a longer type of a video.
Right.
So, got anything to add to that before I get to the super tip?
No, I'm excited to see what your super excited super tip of the week's going to be.
Well, you know what the super tip is, but I just get excited about it because, you know, a lot of times we take video on our iPhone or we've done a Zoom call, we've recorded that. You know, whatever it is you're doing to get that recording. And a lot of times it's pretty static. It's kind of boring. There's not any fun stuff. Like you look around on the border that we've got some color, we've got some words, we've got a logo, we've got all that kind of fun stuff. So this is where you take it to the next level. And if you don't have the skills, you can find somebody really easily and fairly inexpensively on things like Fiverr and Upwork, for somebody to do it for you, is to be able to, when they're chopping up that video, add in that branding. You have the opportunity now in post-production to now edit in and out everything that you want that maybe you didn't like during the live video and you couldn't quite get it integrated into a live video. And now you've got that. You can add in the logo, you can add in the design, you can add in slides, even if you weren't doing a screen share maybe on Zoom. Maybe you've got something you really want to hit home with some, like a diagram or something, and you could just pop that in and still hear you talking or your guest talking, and be able to really add more fun stuff to it to make your video look super professional and have more interest to it. So rather than just chopping it up into little pieces, what can you do to add a little bit of something fun? That also goes along with, ready?
I'm ready.
When you go to places like TikTok or Instagram, you're going to notice a style. There's a certain style of people adding text over the top of their videos or little pop-ups or different things. And that's what people on those platforms expect to see. So even if it maybe is, you know, it's not like totally, you know, serious professional, but, you know, as a doctor on the TikTok, you have to be speaking to the audience and what they expect to see on a TikTok video. So, you know, do your research, go check out TikTok. You'll get addicted just like I did. And you're going to see.
Don't do it, folks. Don't do it. Stay away from the light.
Look, I'm just saying you might want to block out some time in your calendar because it's a complete time suck. But I learn something new every day.
That's the important thing.
That's the important thing. But you are going to want to, you know, modify and edit your videos appropriate for how you're going to be using those. The way that you're going to add in graphics and things for your website or for a promo video going to be a little bit different than a TikTok or an Instagram or a YouTube short. So
definitely. And
kind of have to be
one of the other things one of the other things I'd like to add to the editing process is that you might incorporate some background music if you want to. You could do transitions as an example that maybe within your live production you're not able to do or don't feel comfortable doing. And especially Zoom, you always, assuming you're recording like a 2-up like we are right now, side by side, with Zoom, we always get that little box, and then you've got a lot of black on the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
Fill that space up, do some branding, put something in there besides black. I always get a little frustrated when I see what I consider a quality brand or a well-known brand, and then all they do is just take a Zoom recording and throw it up. And it's like, I want to throw up when they do that, because
I was just gonna say, those were the right words.
Those,
just throw it up.
Yeah, it's literally, it's like, oh, throwing it up. But you got to realize that when you put product out there, that it's going to work for you, especially if it's evergreen, if it's content that's relevant today as it is tomorrow, a year, 5 years from now. People are going to look at that. So by putting a little bit of extra time in doing, a nice little fade in transition, as an example, at the beginning, if you have a lower thirds to introduce people, especially if you have guests on, if there's a section that's really not relevant and you just want to tighten the video up a little bit, maybe it's still full length, but tighten it up. Do that. Add transitions, sound effects. People love sound effects. Like when the names come in, have a little swoosh if you want to. Have some fun with it. One of our coaches goes, everything's an experiment. So just kind of experiment. And through that experimentation, you start to find your voice. And ideally, you also start finding out what works and doesn't work for your audience.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned, kind of that, fading in. You also have the opportunity to get, you can either make it yourself or find somebody to make one for you. Only one time, pay for it one time and use it for every single video. Is that little intro. We have our little intro. We didn't do our intro today,
we didn't do our intro.
Ryan.
Hold it. Wait for it.
Hold it. Hold it.
I still didn't fix that. Why is that still broken? I fixed it last time.
So that's a little bit of an example of an intro. You do it one time, and then you can just use it every single time and pop it on all your videos. Make it nice and short, fun, crisp. I think we need time to update ours these days. We've been using it for a little while. But you can do something fun, and it's branding, and people expect to see, and they go, "Oh yeah, I know what this is. I know this brand." So that's another little extra you can add in.
Yeah, and it creates, just hearing that same song and that same, once you've heard it a couple of times, what it does is it kind of creates I cannot think of the word I want right now. It is a anchor. I had to physically do it. It's an anchor. It becomes an auditory or a visual anchor. And when people see it, it's one of the reasons we've talked about this before, why companies like Pepsi, as an example, or Coke, are constantly advertising. It's not because obviously they want to sell more product, but yeah, it's not like we don't know who Coke or Pepsi is, and they're just going to disappear. But they would if we stop talking about them. If we don't have that anchor of what that logo looks like, it creates a familiarity. So when you go into the grocery store and you see Coke or Pepsi or whatever it might be, you are then like, oh, okay, this is relevant. And our brains love things that we're familiar with. So anytime there's familiarity with things, the brain says, okay, this feels comfortable, and it's much easier to move towards and making a purchase or whatever that next step is in the relationship.
Right. So, and video, very, very powerful.
Very powerful.
Visual, very, very powerful. And then, like you said, combining a little bit of music with things sometimes, or those sound effects can be really fun to really just there we go. Look at that.
It's the only one I have right now. I'll have to work on that.
We'll have to work on some more sound effects. That's super fun.
Yeah.
So those are our top 5 ways to repurpose your video. So we talked about social media, using it in social media, using it on your website, using it for email, maybe a promotional video, or using it for a presentation. So those are your 5 ways. And you can chop it all up into little baby pieces and use all of it over and over again. A little bit here, a little bit there, just sprinkle it all around.
There you go.
And everyone will love you.
Yes. And you might even love yourself because you're like, oh my gosh, I just created more content that I don't have to figure out what this new content is.
Exactly.
And I'm just curious, out of those five, do you feel like we missed something that should have been on the list or one that was on the list that shouldn't have been on the list? Always curious to know what you, the audience, think.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear if you guys are already doing that. How's that going for you, and where are
Yeah.
you getting the most traction from those chopped up videos? You know, is it one platform on social media? Is it just social media in general? Your website? Where do you feel like you're getting the most traction with doing that and using that technique? We'd
Right.
love to hear about that. So please let us know.
Definitely, definitely. All right. I think that's it
Yay.
then. If not,
Yay, I think that's it.
yes.
Do we
All
get
right.
do we get to
Perfect.
hear the intro outro again?
We do one more time. However, we have to let everybody know though that we are weekly. You may not know it, but
Yes.
it's always backwards over there above your
Yes.
head. Every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Although I'm going to be on vacation, I forget in April or May, I
End of
think.
April.
So
End of April, I think you said.
somewhere there. We'll let you all
We'll
know
let you
down the
know.
road. So I don't know if Sue's going to want to do her own show or not, since I typically produce it, but we'll see what happens. So,
Yeah, because I don't do that techie stuff. We already determined that long time ago. I show up, turn the
hey,
camera
you
on,
know
and
what?
talk.
You look much better today as far as lighting and everything than I do. So,
Oh,
tech wise, you're doing
thanks.
pretty good. You're doing
Woo,
pretty good.
whoop, whoop.
So
I get kudos.
kudos. There you go. Other than that, we will be back next Tuesday, though, at
Yes,
4
we will.
o'clock Pacific. Always love to see you, especially Elvis. Always appreciate Elvis showing
Yes,
up and
always.
supporting us. Until next week, hope you all take care.